Let's bring it right now, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. How are you doing?
Hi, great to see you.
Good to see you. It got kind of ugly the other day because Matthews asked Hillary a couple of questions. She came up and Chris pinched her on the cheek.
Yeah.
Next time she says,
Be
the
careful.
guns are drawn. The guns are drawn. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've been talking about this about every day now. Everybody's been talking about the demise of Rudy Giuliani because your strategy just didn't make sense. But Huckabee wins Iowa, if McCain wins New Hampshire, if Romney wins Michigan, if somebody else wins South Carolina, suddenly you're the genius.
It's still open.
You win Florida, and you go into Super Tuesday with the most delegates and the most momentum.
Well, I think this is still a wide open race, and I think that our strategy is a good one. We've spent time in a lot of the states that are coming up. There are 29 of them between Iowa and February 5th. We've worked hard in many of them. We have a very good organization in Florida. I believe we've got a real good chance of winning Florida. And, you know, obviously, all these strategies, you know this, turn out to be the right one or the wrong one after February 5th. Then we'll find out who had the right strategy.
Well, you know, 2 months ago, Barack Obama was an idiot. Everybody was going around saying he needs to confront her. He needs to do this. He needs to. Now he's a rock star. We may see the same thing with you on January 29th. Are you going to focus between now and January 29th on Florida?
Yeah, we'll head to Florida tonight. We'll be campaigning there intensely for the next couple of weeks. I think our message of low taxes, restraint on government spending, being on offense in the terrorist war against us is a very strong one. It's done very well in Florida to date. We've already spent a lot of time campaigning in Florida and put together a really good organization there.
Yeah, what's wrong with the Republican Party right now? You look at Iowa, the Democrats had a record turnout. New Hampshire, Democrats are going to probably have a record turnout. And as Tim Russert said, let's say you win the nomination, you are going to face 2 swing states where the momentum is really in the Democrats' favor.
I think I have the best chance of doing that for the Republican Party. I think I have the best chance of carrying on a 50-state campaign. Doesn't mean you're going to win 50 states, but I'd be the most competitive in more states.
But why are Democrats doing so well right now? What have the Republicans done over the past 7 years that have disillusioned voters?
We've been in power, and then things get blamed on you. I think once you get it down to 2 candidates, whether it's me, another Republican, and Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, John Edwards, we are going to analyze change. We're going to say change, but in what direction? The Democrats want to change. They want to raise taxes. Well, that's, my view, a bad change. We would like to change. We want to lower taxes.
John McCain? John McCain was one of 2 Republicans that voted against George Bush's tax cuts. I've been very critical of George Bush, but he got tax cuts, and Supreme Court justices right. A lot of conservatives think. Would you have voted against George Bush's tax cuts?
No, I was in favor of the tax cuts. I was a mayor of New York City who did more tax cuts than anyone in the history of New York City. I did 23, over $9 billion of tax cuts. I made supply-side economics work in New York City. I reduced the income, or had the income tax rate reduced by about 24%. We collected 42% more revenues from the lower tax than the higher tax.